They don't dare name it. They will not name it. They will not call it Islam. Hillary Clinton doesn't even want to identify a bomb. But this man made it clear. He said, I want to be a martyr for Islam. Oh, ho, ho. And the man suspecting of planting bombs in New York wrote in his journal that he wanted to make America pay for its attacks against, quote, Muslim holy warriors.
Now, Ahmed Khan Rahami faces federal charges of terrorism, including using weapons of mass destruction. Dale Hurd has the story.
Ahmed Khan Rahami promised to martyr himself rather than be caught after setting off explosives in New York and New Jersey. He raged against the U.S. in his journal, writing, "You, the U.S. government, continue your slaughter against the Mujahideen, or holy warriors, be it in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Palestine. Death to your oppression." He praised Osama bin Laden, radical Islamic cleric Anwar al-Awlaki, and Nidal Hassan, the former army officer who went on a deadly shooting rampage in 2009 at Fort Hood, Texas. Rahami openly bought his bomb-making equipment on eBay, including ball bearings and igniters. The FBI confirms it knew about Rahami and spoke with his father in 2014, after the father expressed concerns that the son could be a terrorist.
I called the FBI 2 years ago.
And what did you tell them?
I told them you got a connection with this guy.
He later took back those comments, saying his son had simply fallen in with a bad crowd, and the FBI never questioned his son. Rahami was also accused of stabbing his brother and hitting his mother, but a grand jury declined to indict him. A neighbor of Rahami and a former policeman said Rahami seemed normal and asked him about becoming a police officer.
We would just talk like I'm talking to you now, like just back and forth, like, hey, what's up? What you doing today? Oh, I'm going down the shore. I'm going to do this. Nothing. I never said anything bad about the government. Never asked to see my weapon or anything. Nothing. I mean, just a quiet kid.
He also worked as a security guard in New Jersey, and co-workers say he often expressed sympathy for the terrorist group, the Taliban. A key part of the investigation will be Rahami's year-long trip to Pakistan. While overseas, Rahami married and had 2 children. The FBI questioned his wife overseas. She went to her native Pakistan in June. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Well, the whole idea is we're going to try to sympathize with him and empathize with him and understand the suffering that he's been through mentally. This is nonsense. These people are taught a philosophy which is embodied in the Quran. It's at the heart of the Islamic teaching that they should take up arms against the infidels and that they should rule the world. I mean, it's in there. It's at the core, and it's being taught week after week after week in various mosques all over the world. This isn't because of economic dislocation. It isn't because of oppression. It's none of those things. They are trained from the time they're little children that they must rise up against the infidels, and they must go on jihad, and that the highest goal is to become a shaheed, a martyr for Islam. That's what they're taught. So when they act it out, why do people say, well, I wonder what happened to him? Well, what happened to him was years and years and years of training. Well, in other news, people took to the streets in the American cities once again after the police shooting of a black man. John Jessup has this.
That's right, Pat. The streets of Charlotte, North Carolina erupted in violent protests Tuesday night after the fatal shooting of a black man by a black police officer. The protest came after the officer fatally shot 43-year-old Keith Lamont Scott. Family members insist Scott was not armed.
People are calling my phone saying that your brother had a gun. He had no gun. He didn't have no gun.
But police say Scott was armed, and they recovered a gun at the scene. The protests became violent. 12 officers were injured and several police cars destroyed. Dozens of demonstrators were also seen looting semi-trucks and setting their contents on fire on Interstate 85. Pat, back to you.
It's a catch-22. The police need to do something. I was talking to a black bishop yesterday, and he said his research showed that there are vastly more black-on-black homicides than there are white-on-black homicides. That it's almost 10-to-1 ratio, according to what he told me. I don't have the figures. But the whole idea is that there's got to be some love and harmony in this whole thing. And police have to do their jobs. But boy, oh boy, maybe we can find some other thing to arm them with. I don't know if tasers do it or whether rubber bullets or something. But we cannot have police shooting down people all the time. But if they can't defend themselves, they can't defend us as the population. It is, they say, a catch-22. But the professional demonstrators who come in from New York into a place like Charlotte or Ferguson, Missouri, their only desire is to stir up trouble. And what we need to do is to bring harmony and peace. Blessed are the peacemakers. John.
Pat, turning to the election, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton raised record amounts of money in August for their presidential bids. A total of $233 million in just 1 month. Clinton raised money for her own campaign as well as the Democratic National Committee. The Trump campaign hasn't filed its August report yet. Clinton has been hitting the airwaves with campaign commercials, but she hasn't pulled away from Trump. Right now, the race remains a virtual dead heat, although Clinton has the edge in the Electoral College. Well, the Senate will remain in session next week to vote on a measure that will make it easier for the families of 9/11 victims to sue the country of Saudi Arabia. President Obama is expected to veto the bill. But The Hill reports it appears there are enough votes from both Republicans and Democrats to override his veto. Some Republicans believe the president has taken his time vetoing the measure to keep them off the campaign trail. And Pat, Republicans control the Senate now, but Democrats are hoping to take it back in November.
Well, the Democrats aren't going to take it back in November. The polls are showing the tightening, and the Republican candidates are moving ahead in most of the states that are under consideration. For example, in Ohio, Rob Portman is way ahead, 16 to 17 points ahead from his Democratic opposition. But nevertheless, what we have to realize, I don't think that this is a smart move. I know we don't like Saudi Arabia, what they've done, and the support of terror. But if we get to the point where we start suing sovereign countries and people in foreign countries in our courts, then heaven help our businesses. All our international businesses are going to be subject to all kinds of strike suits, and there will be no peace and no harmony. You know, it's like dropping a pebble in a pond. The ripples go out, and there's no end to where they're going to go. I just think this is unwise. You said, oh, we've got to do something about those so-and-sos. Well, yeah, sure. But, you know, you hit them, and they're going to hit you back, and it's going to hurt a lot harder for us because we are very vulnerable. We have people overseas all the time. We have businesses, huge international corporations doing business all around the world, and suddenly there are going to be strike suits against all of those for every kind of thing. They had one about Chevron. You remember down in, there was Colombia, Peru, in the jungles, wherever, and there was a suit brought to federal court involving billions of dollars for supposedly environmental damage that was done by a subsidiary corporation. And it would have virtually bankrupted a huge American corporation. Unfortunately, the court threw that case out, but it was very dangerous to the corporation. And I think this bill is ill-considered. So as it was said, this could be a good veto. There haven't been many good things that we can applaud, but if he vetoes this, it won't be a bad thing. But unfortunately, this is the one they're going to override. John?
Pat, these days, most people under 40 get their news from smartphones, tablets, or computers. Just ask a millennial the last time they turned on the TV to watch the news. The answer for some could be never. To meet the growing digital demand, CBN is launching a new service called Faithwire across the social media spectrum. Caitlin Burke explains why we believe it could be a game changer.
Millennials see life and look for meaning through a variety of platforms. That includes how they find news. Call it a shift in perspective. Faithwire's goal is to reach young people where they are and show them what God is doing in the world.
This generation is revolutionizing the way stories are told, how the world thinks and acts. And Faithwire plans to be there, not only funneling information, but encouraging a shared experience.
From smartphones to tablets, people's stories are everywhere. Faithwire will showcase examples of small beginnings, triumphs, and hope, told by a diverse team of contributors, including former Miss America, Kirsten Hagland.
Hey guys, I'm Kirsten, and I'm so excited to be starting to record my podcast. It's going to be called the Sonder Podcast. It's going to be on faithwire.com coming up September 21st. So make sure you click and listen, and I'll be excited to chat with you. So talk to you soon.
Another story, God in Gotham, takes viewers to New York City for an untold phenomenon of spiritual growth and rebirth in the Big Apple.
There is a movement happening, and it's happening in the last place that you'd expect. An insane amount of people, young people, millennials, are flocking to church here in New York City.
Famed church planner and pastor Tim Keller says the number of gospel-teaching churches here has nearly doubled in just 5 years.
Church for me used to be a place where I felt like I always had to be perfect. And C3 allows me to embrace my imperfections and know that God still loves me regardless. So it's changed my image about church because I knew I can still be a human with flaws and still be loved by God, which is not an idea I had before.
All part of Faithwire's mission to spread light and give a generation that refuses to be boxed in a way out.
To find out more about the stories Faithwire is publishing, you can visit its website, faithwire.com, and be sure to follow Faithwire on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Pat, this is something that we're all extremely excited about.
We are. Well, Rob Allman, our news director, has put that thing together, and I think it's going to be a very, very important source of information for the so-called millennials. Isn't that exciting?
It's very exciting, yeah. And hopefully some of the older folks will still watch us on TV, too.
If you're the over-the-hill crowd, we're all for you. All right.